week 2 of our series. You guys remember what this one was about? It's just a lot. Yeah. Anxiety, stress. Yeah, we'll say stress and worry. All right. That's what we talked about a lot last week. And that's really what the series is about. How do you cope with lots of stress and worry? Because as you guys know, you guys deal with a lot in the 5th through 8th grade range. I remember very clearly how stressed I was. We talked about that a lot last week. Do you guys remember the difference between stress and worry? Stress it's a synonym. This is how I remember it. Stress is situational. Like, I have a test coming up and I'm stressed. Worry or anxiety, those are kind of synonyms. I said synonyms earlier. I meant alliteration. Stress is related to your situation. Stress is situational. It's a alliteration, not a synonym. My apologies. Worry and anxiety are more like a synonym, whereas it's not necessarily based in any situation. Once the test is done, if you're still worried and anxious about a test, even though you don't have one coming up, then well, that's worry, stress, right? Or worry and anxiety. So stress is situational. Worry / anxiety is more like a general state of mind, right? And it's detached from a situation. And so we talked a lot about that last week. If you were here last week, I encourage you to go catch up on YouTube. Good information. But real quick, I just want to do a little bit of a challenge with you guys to make a point. But how many of you have used like ChatGPT? This new AI chat box that you ask information and it will talk to you and give it to you. It's like Siri, except like smarter. Or Alexa. Any of you guys have an Alexa in your house? My boss, Rick, some of you know, he has one in his office. So Chelsea and I will laugh a lot because we'll come in and we drop our kids off about half hour before he gets in there, and he'll come in. Morning. He'll hear him open his office door, sit down. Alexa, play light jazz. And I can hear it through the wall, and it just cracks me up. And if Chelsea's not in her office, I'll text her, Alexa, play light jazz, and we laugh about it to ourselves. It was just really funny. I don't know why, but it makes me laugh. So I can't remember the last time I asked or it looked for light jazz. But the fact that you can ask your robot machine to help you is pretty awesome. So I need a couple people to help me out real quick. Saw your hand, and I didn't see who went first, but we'll go with you, right? So both of you come on up. All right, I'm going to ask you if you can do a certain number of things, okay? And we're going to see if you're smarter than Siri, okay? Do you guys think you're smarter than Siri? No. I have confidence in you. Do you think you're smarter than Siri? Yeah, Siri is pretty dumb sometimes. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to actually ask you to do this for me, but I want to know if you are able to do this, okay? And we'll see if Siri can do the same thing, all right? I'm gonna ask Siri first, and then I'll ask you guys if you can do it, okay? So, hey Siri, can you tell me if I have anything in my teeth?
I don't have an answer for that. Is there something else I can help with?
Siri can't help me with that. Can you tell me if I have something in my teeth?
Something else I can help with?
Yeah, Siri's still lost, okay? All right, how about this one? Hey Siri, can you bring me candy?
Afraid not.
Can either of you bring me candy? This is service right here, guys. Give them a round of applause. I really like Reese's, if you can find that. Perfect. Thank you. Okay, you're smarter than Siri. Liam, you can surprise me with anything if you want. Or you can give me double Reese's. I appreciate that. Thank you. All right. So far, you're 2 for 0. All right. Here. Hey, Siri, can you tie my shoes? Keep thinking. One moment.
I don't have an answer for that. Is there something else I can...
Okay. My shoes are already tied. Siri didn't even know that. She just assumed I needed help tying my shoe because I asked. So you guys still know. Way better than Siri. All right, we'll try another one. All right, hey Siri, can you take this Bible to the other side of the room for me? Nope, I don't want to watch this YouTube video. No. So, I think you guys get the point, right? Who is smarter, Siri or people? Okay, give them a round of applause. You guys can go have a seat. All right. I had some others for you, like, can you grab me a glass of water? Can you walk my dog for me? Can you make me dinner? Right? So far, AI is not capable of doing those things. But, who knows? In 50 years, maybe we'll all have robots that can actually do it for us. And we will literally be living in Star Wars. But anyway, that's just, I can still hope, all right? So the reality is, like, if I were to ask you guys what's the definition of Susurrus for that game, right? Then you guys would have been able to tell me, except for Elena, and Siri would have been able to tell me, right? So in that sense, Siri's smarter-ish. Siri has more access to immediate information. Not that you can't learn that, but Siri has more immediate access, or any AI. But when it comes to actually doing things, who is more capable, you or AI? That's true. You can ask Alexa to just order something for you. But when it comes to making the order, preparing it, putting it in the system, processing payment, bringing it to your house, who's doing that, AI or people? People, right? So my point is simply this. The AI might know a lot, but AI doesn't know everything, right? Have you guys seen that Walmart's trying to do the drone delivery thing? Like where you order and then the drone will literally drop it off at your house, right? I think Amazon has tried this before maybe, and then there were lots of privacy issues concerned, and so they're like, oh, kill it, right? Maybe I'm misremembering that, but you know about it. Yeah, so this is a thing. Like, companies are trying to develop this. We're trying to get a technology to do what we can do, but ultimately, nobody can do it better than us because we're human. And people can do things that machines and that AI just can't do. That's okay. Actually, that quite comforts me to know that I can't be replaced, right? And so there's this reality that sometimes when we're stressed or worried about something, AI is great, but people are better, right? We're not meant to live in isolation. I remember when I was in 7th grade, we had to do a group project where we had to write a short story, and it had to be 4 kids. So it had have pictures and had to be all nice and put together. And I remember that stressed me out because I was like, I don't know how to make something like that look good, but we were put in partners. And so my partner, his name was Patton, and his dad was a photographer and it had a green screen. And so we actually could write our own story, and then he could illustrate it with Photoshop images of us. The only thing I really remember was it was about flying a plane, and so we green screened ourselves into the air flying a plane, and that's all I remember about it. But I was much less stressed when I realized what my partner brought to the table, because I wasn't really worried about writing. I was worried about how we were going to illustrate it for our project, and he had that solution solved. Now this was before smartphones and where everybody had even iPads or iPods that could take pictures. This was back when you had to have Photoshop downloaded on your computer via CD-ROM in order to do this kind of stuff. You had to have a real fancy computer. Nowadays, you can do all that on your phone. But back then, that was a huge answer to my stress. So people help us out and help carry the load when we have stress and worry, right? What about you? When have you had something that you were worried or stressed about, all right? And then somebody else helped you. Turn to the person next to you and share. You got 20 seconds. Go. I'll let you continue that conversation in your groups here in just a few minutes. Real quick, I want to point your attention to something, because when it comes to stress and worry, obviously, some help would be nice, right? Not only do people help us, but God really does have a part in this story. He is always with us. We're not alone, right? And so we were never meant to live through life alone. But even Jesus, when he was walking the earth, he set the precedent for this very truth, that we need other people to help us. And Jesus actually asked for help from other people around him. Now, if you were God, Would you ever feel the need to ask for help from somebody else? Anybody? I wouldn't. If I were God, I'd snap my fingers and maybe multiply myself and then like have that person be the working me and me have to be the fun me or something. But God even includes us when he needs help. At least that's what he did when he was with his disciples. Actually, check this out. This is in John chapter 19. This is actually as Jesus was hanging on the cross near the end of his time on earth. And this is what he said, or this is what happened. Standing near the cross were Jesus' mother and his mother's sister Mary, the wife of Clopas, and Mary Magdalene, the three Marys. When Jesus saw his mother standing there beside the disciple he loved, referring to John, because when John is writing about himself in the Gospel of John, he refers to himself as the disciples of Jesus loved. Now, wouldn't that be great if you were writing about your friends, and every time you mention yourself and your story about your friends, you're like, my best friend's best friend. And then, but anyway. So standing there beside them was the disciple he loved. He said to her, "Dear woman, here is your son." And he said to this disciple, talking about John, "Here is your mother." And from then on, the disciple took her into his home. Now, basically what he's saying is, as he's hanging there on the cross, he looks to John and he says, "Hey, this is now your mother. Mother, this is now your son." So John takes her to go live in his home. He's asking John to help take care of his mother once he's gone. Right? Now, imagine what life was about to be like for Jesus' mom after he died. Who is going to take care of her? Who is going to provide for her? Who is going to send her money? Who is going to make sure she was taken care of? Right? These are the practical things that sometimes we dissociate from the Bible when we read it. But these were real people at a real time who had real needs, real things to be stressed and worried about. And I think of all the things that Jesus was worried about leading up to his death, I don't think about that one very often. But he specifically asked for one of his friends to help. Now, I think if God can ask for help from people around him, you and I can probably do that too. Some of us, we don't have a problem asking for help, and that's fine. Sometimes we just don't know what to ask for help with, right? Is anybody in that boat? I'm kind of that way sometimes. I know I need help, but I don't know what to ask for, right? Some of us, maybe we got a pride issue, and we can't ask for help because we can't admit that we need help, right? And that could be a different issue altogether. But in this moment, Jesus was going through a lot, but he asked for his friend to take care of his mom when he's gone. This is kind of an insightful moment. The point, really, I want you to get from this is that God can use others' help when you are worried. Sometimes we expect God to just, when we pray, God, take away my anxiety, take away my worry, we expect him to just snap his fingers, and then you to wake up one morning and go, wow, I'm no longer worried or stressed. And then you can do a little dance but that's often not how it happens, right? And some of you know this because you prayed for that to happen, and it didn't happen. But what God often does, he puts people into your life to help carry the load, to help alleviate that worry and that anxiety on you by putting other people that can help with that. Just the way Patton helped alleviate my stress about our class project, right? People can help you. So, a couple things I want you to try is one, just turn to others for help. Turn to others for help. Don't expect that you have to do it all on your own, because you were not meant to live in isolation. Turn and ask others for help. Now, you have people in your life that care about you, that want to help you. And I know that because God hasn't left any of us, and the way that he proves that is he leaves people in our lives to help us. Now, if you can't think of anybody right off the top of your head that would be more than happy to help you in a situation of need, then just take a look at this room and look at anybody that's over the age of 18. See, you might call them a small group leader, right? That they come here every single week. Why? Because they care about you, right? They're here for you. They're here to help you. Okay? So you're not meant to go through life alone. And help for you might look different than the person next to you. Everybody needs help in different ways. But my point is this: you're not alone, right? You've got a support system in place. And so you can turn to others for help. Secondly, you can look for ways to help others. Maybe you're sitting here and you're thinking, this is a great message if I were stressed or worried, but I'm not. I just can't wait to go home and keep playing Fortnite, right? Or, yeah, anybody still play Fortnite? Okay, cool. Okay, you're not allowed. Well, that's okay. So, I mean, that's been big for a lot of years now at this point, but insert whatever it is that you want to in that blank. Some of you're not stressed and worried, but maybe the message for you is, how can you turn and help those in your friend group or in your close proximity that could use some help with some stress and worries that they are going through, right? Maybe you're supposed to be the answer to somebody else's prayer. So, I mean, the church isn't just for you to feed you. The church is an intersection of people, of God's people, and we were meant to carry each other's burdens. In fact, if you've been coming to here for any period of time, you'll often hear me in my prayer, like, God, help us to carry one another's burdens, to encourage one another, build each other up. I say that all the time because, one, I wish that we could be more unified in the way that we live life together and help each other, but two, it's echoed all throughout Scripture. In fact, check this out. It comes from Galatians 6:2, where Paul was writing to the church in Galatia, and he says, carry each other's burdens, and in this way, you will fulfill the law of Christ. So, in other words, you will basically be living out your faithfulness. You'll be living out God's promises by carrying each other's burdens, right? So the first thing was you can turn to other people for help. The second was you can look for ways to help others, okay? God can use others to help you when you're worried. If there's nothing else that you get out of today's message, is that you can turn to God for help. And God often uses others to help you. So, remember that this morning. Remember that the next time you feel anxious or you feel stressed, there's lots of different things that you can do to work through those things. There's different exercises you could do. There's people you can talk to. This could go like multi-layered deep, and unfortunately we don't have enough time to get into all of that. So that's why the bottom line, I just want you to know, when you are dealing with the overwhelm of stress and anxiety, one, you're not alone, because it's like the most reported stress of life among especially people your age, and that's stress. Stress is the number one stress of life. Stress and anxiety. So you're not alone, but secondly, you're not alone in being able to get through it. There are tools that can help you do that. So, and there are people that can help walk with you. So, as you get ready to go to small group, who is someone God has used in your life to help you when you were stressed or worried? I shared my story about Pat, and I could share it like 100 more. But who is someone that God has used in your life to help you when you've been stressed or worried in the past? I want you to think about that question. I'm going to pray. We'll go to your small groups, and then we'll be done for the week.